When I'm preparing to take on a role like Odette and Odile, I think it's something you have to take one entrance at a time. I always kind of think, maybe this is what running a marathon feels like. I treat Odette as the protagonist. It really is her story. She's essentially a young woman who is kidnapped and turned into a swan by this evil sorcerer, Rothbart. She lives as a swan, essentially, in this sort of captivity. She's fighting for her life, she's fighting for her freedom. She's obviously delicate and beautiful, but at the same time is such a strong character and has such strong willpower to break free of this curse that she's under. The only way for her to break free from the curse is to fall in love and for her prince or whoever to swear that they love her. With Odile, it's a bit of a smoke and mirrors kind of thing where she's just a reflection of what Rothbart wants. She does everything because he tells her to do it. Odile is sort of this cunning trickster. She takes a lot of delight in messing with things, making mischief and making trouble. That's kind of her whole identity and just how she operates. Just in terms of the physicality, they do share the swan arms. They can either be delicate and sort of mimicking the way the water moves, or they can be these strong, like massive wings. It's a really interesting duality to play with in terms of the physicality. The first time I ever worked on this role, I was 15 years old, in ballet school. From that day, from the first day I started working on those swan arms, it's been a work in progress ever since, because it takes so much effort to create that sort of continuity in the line and to keep the shoulders down and to also find a way to make it look like there's more than just an arm there. Like there's something growing from it. There are feathers. You could fly, essentially. With Odette, there's a lot more softness. She flutters a bit more. She'll nest a little bit. She'll sort of settle into things. And with Odile, she's always kind of big and trying to make an impression and trying to be as large and as impressive as possible. It is a challenge for sure to switch between characters, I think, in one ballet. That's kind of one of the things I find hardest because you really have to sort of reset and go to a totally different place before you go from one role to the next. Odette's technical demands are much more sort of controlled and slow and thoughtful in a lot of ways, so you need to be in that headspace, whereas Odile is, it's 32 fouettes, it's difficult, technical, impressive stuff. Dancing with the swans is it's a really special experience. It really enhances the emotions of what Odette is feeling. There's this whole part where all of the swans are behind her and there's this sort of lament and they're all sharing in her grief because she's lost everything. It's interesting because that's what we do when we're sad. We go to our friends and we share the grief and we share our losses and our joys, and I think it's a special thing to have that surrounding you when you're dancing.